What's going on, Cancer? And welcome to the Chariot Friends. Justin here, and I hope you're feeling amazing today. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really does mean a lot to me, Cancer, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We are in for an amazing journey. Now, the purpose of this channel, for those of you who have Cancer in your placement, sun, moon, rising, wherever, Cancer, this one's for you. And I do tarot card spreads based off our ruler here, the good old moon. And I'll talk about what sign she's in, what phase she's in, when she's going void, of course, just all of those lunar shenanigans. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me. Never force a reading on a situation, and everything will be fantastic, Cancer. Now, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Gems, feeling lovely. Just good energy all around here, Cancer. So, Cancer, hope you all had a great weekend. And so today the moon went void of course today, or at least she will be going void of course a little bit later this afternoon. At about 2:53, that's going to be Central Time. She'll be moving from Scorpio into Sagittarius, and will be entering Sagittarius at about 7:30 in the evening. So yeah, we're looking at about a 4-hour, 38-minute void of course there, Cancer. And with the void of course, this is a period of time when the moon just moves from sign to the next sign. So it's when she completes like her last aspect with like a major planet, then she moves over to, she just kind of checks out for a little bit, Cancer. And she invites you to do the same. You know, this is good energy for meditating and recharging. You know, you may see some unexpected changes in plans, and people are also less likely to kind of make a decision during these periods of time. So just kind of work with the energies as it comes up for you, Cancer. And then the moon is, with the moon being in Sagittarius, emotions, I love the moon in Sagittarius. Emotions are joyful and exploratory. You're going to be feeling more like free-spirited and optimistic, maybe a little restless. You know, Sagittarius is just about that expansive energy. And the last thing with the moon, she's in a last quarter phase. And this is a period of time of about letting go, tearing down any kind of old structures that aren't working for us anymore, and working in some new stuff here, Cancer. So definitely work with these energies as they make sense. And then last thing, the deck set I'm using, this one is the Wandering Moon Tarot deck. And I had to spoil you, it's a Chariot Friends exclusive. And then this deck is the Oracle deck I'll be using is the Anatomy of a Witch deck, and I'll include links for these decks and other decks that I like using down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested, Cancer. But Cancer, our general energy of the day, looks like we have the Hermit in reverse here. And with the Hermit in reverse, I feel like we're at this period of time right now, Cancer, where I feel like it's time, maybe some of us have been maybe kind of pent up inside, and what I mean by that could be, now that it came out like that, maybe we have some pent up emotions that we might be keeping up inside. But I more so am getting to that this energy is kind of asking us to kind of get out there, Cancer, and kind of literally, I think for some of us, getting outside, maybe going for a walk around the block, maybe going to like a park, going to just anywhere just to get you some fresh air. But also too, if we've been in this place of where maybe we've been kind of cooking up something, maybe you had I've been talking about all that creative energy, maybe some of us have been working on something and we got a few things that maybe we want to display, or not even necessarily do like a public, like a showing or anything like that. But let's say you had let's say you got a bunch of paintings, that you've been working on these last couple weeks, and maybe you're ready to just welcome someone in your space, judgment-free zone here, safe space. What do you think? What do you think of this? What do you think of this Hermit in reverse that I painted here? But that's where I feel like, and this is what good energy to start off your Monday with. I feel like getting ready, shining your light. I feel like that this week, I mean, I know this is just for the day, but Cancer, I mean, let's just make this a week, like a thing for the week. Maybe when you get like, carve out like maybe 15-20 minutes if you don't already do it, and get outside, as weather's permitting to. That's even something that I've been trying to do, just to kind of shake up the day a little bit. Even if, where I'm at, the weather is a bit capricious, but that doesn't change the fact that it's just like, sometimes I got to put on some extra layers, and maybe it's going to be a more of a brisk jog than it is a walk, but just something to just get out in the elements. Because even I found that in the when like working out, or like working out, when like walking out, when the weather's may not be as desirable, let's say it might be rainy, might be snowing, could be windy, whatever it is, it's still like a reminder of that, okay, yeah, it's all these things, but I get to feel all these things in this moment, the discomfort, maybe the cold, maybe there's some, and then when you accept it like that, then you can even start thinking about, okay, but what are some good things about this? Okay, this air might be cold, but it's like, it's sobering, if anything, I feel more awake, just some stuff like that, Cancer. I really feel like that this will help kind of just breathe some freshness into your life here. Maybe kind of, if we've been feeling even in like a mental fog or something like that, what better way to kind of break up your day? And two, Cancer, getting out, even from your own space, it's, or what I was going to say, even in your space, sometimes even if you're steeped in your energy too long, the point of views kind of stay the same, or the energy gets kind of stagnant. So it's nice to just every now and again just to kind of break the monotony of things, Cancer. And too, when you're going out with for this walk, switch up how you would go. If you have like your normal route, maybe go the other direction here, but I feel like that some, I was going to say some abundance might come your way, but possibly so, Cancer, because we remember we had a whole discussion about abundance. Now let me tell you what we're doing now. The next couple cards are going to be how we're going to work with the energy, Cancer. And I feel like with the King of Stars popping up, I think that this is going to give you all some real fresh ideas. You see more constellations that you're going to be cooking up. Because I mean, what was it, yesterday, Friday, when it was just stars all over the place? You pretty much had like a Milky Way there, Cancer. And I think that if we learn to just kind of get out there, expose, for some of us, exposing ourselves as far as like to the elements and things like that, and then others, maybe even literally, putting yourself out there as far as like maybe showing people that art, or playing that tune, or whatever it is that you got cooking up that you've been herbiting for a while, Cancer. I feel like this is going to bring some new fresh ideas and some new ways for you to get, different types of abundance here, Cancer. And you know what, too? Something else that just popped into my head. This might be something, too, for some of us, Cancer. It may be time for us to think about maybe going into a hermit. Maybe we've been resistant to the hermit in a while. Normally that's how I kind of read it when it's upright, but I'm getting, especially just with all this Virgo energy here, Cancer, I feel like that maybe some of us might want to think about as well, doing some just little things for you, Cancer, little things to, check in with as far as like your health and things. Not that this isn't medical advice, Cancer, talk with your doctors, if we have like our normal, or your healthcare professional, that you see. But I bring that up just because when I think of Virgo energy and the house that Virgo rules, or that the natural house of Virgo, it's over the 6th house. And one of those things can deal with, that house has to deal with routines. It can deal with your kind of like your everyday, like your job, your work day, and your health. And so I feel like with these energies, check in on that stuff. Are we feeling, how are we feeling? Are we feeling kind of tight? Do we might need to maybe do some stretching possibly? Are you feeling stiff in the sense of like, maybe the blood blood's been pulling in the legs? Do we need to get out there, start moving? And then two, check your routine. Are we doing things throughout the day that are we promoting like good healthy habits throughout the day? I get where, some of us may not like routine, but just like little things that can uplift your day, as far as like, I remember I was listening to someone not too long ago, they were talking about it, and a friend actually told me this years ago. It's a book based off a military guy. I don't remember the name of the book offhand, but it was talking about, setting up your future self for success, is essentially what I've got from it. And it was like, something as simple as just like making your bed each day. That's a win, and just little things like that. If you've got like dishes in the sink, promoting like really good kind of like self-care routines, and let those become habits, so that those compound, so that you are working, so that constantly working towards the best version of yourself here, Cancer. Let's see what else is going on here. Lot to think about on a Monday. I tell you, Cancer, we're getting deeper and deeper just as this relationship's unfolding every lunar cycle, and I'm with it. All right, let's see what else we got here, Cancer. Okay, we got the Five of Moons. And while I was talking about all those habits and whatnot, this could be also a good thing to do with this energy. See what are some things that we can let go as well. Are there some things that we, and you know what I mean, Cancer, deep down those little habits that it's not, I don't feel like it's necessarily like as bad as like a maybe like trying to quit smoking or something along those lines, but it could be that, have we been thinking like, oh man, I wish I want to cut back on my drinking maybe, or maybe I want to cut back on smoking, or maybe I want to cut back on snacking, or, maybe I want to make it a habit of, and think about it like that too, Cancer. I feel like when we think about changing up habits and going about things, and when we think about we should or we have to, I feel like that makes it feel like an obligation, or it makes it feel like if we don't accomplish it, it just tacks on just unnecessary guilt. I feel like when you go about thinking of these new habits that that we might be forming and letting go of things, thinking about stuff that you want to do, like I want to get, I want to maybe get my drinking, down to this pace, or I want to make it that I work out this many days of the week, or, I want to make it, incorporate this thing in my diet, getting in that type of mentality, making it more of a mantra type thing, as opposed to like you have to do this thing, like do this, Cancer. If you don't do it, we're failing, and that just gets it in a weird place, Cancer. Now let's get to how some challenges that we may come to while working with this energy here. Okay, let's see what we got here. Oh, interesting. Okay, so I like that. We got the Moon in reverse here. And you know what, Cancer? Some challenges, I feel like I feel like it's realizing that, or a challenge may be accepting the fact that this like almost like rewiring yourself, or like applying different like life hacks, or brain hacks are going to work. I think it's one thing to hear all of these different types of stuff, and it's like, okay, yeah, sure, make my bed. Oh yeah, that sounds like I already kind of make my bed. But it's like, making it with intention, you know what I mean? Like being really in the moment there, and really noticing the changes in you, as you start incorporating these things. Because if we just, I feel like at first, if we're just going into this thing of like, oh, I'm just kind of doing it just to prove them that it doesn't work, then that's gonna be weird, Cancer. And if that's where the energy you're channeling at, then chances are it's not gonna work. But I feel like if this is something that we know is going to work because we want it to work, then that's going to make it just that much easier. And then the growth is going to become it will become more natural. You know what I mean? It'll be just like how how we transition from Scorpio to Sagittarius. It'll be like that type of transition, because Scorpio is very transformative energy. This is funny enough, this card here, the Five of Moons, is Mars in Scorpio. And I feel like it'll be like how where Scorpio energy can, be a little more kind of darker, intense, kind of their energy is about doing a deep dive, detective work, and exposing that stuff that needs to be transformed to, that last quarter stuff, very, very Tower moment type energy, death card stuff. But then you get into Sag, and then, it's like you go through this transformation. It's just like, wow, I put in all that work, and here's the reward, expansion, optimism, a whole new way of looking at life here, Cancer. So just something to think about when we're working with our, well, this is technically Pisces energy, but the moon here. And, too, I'm even looking at how the moon lined up with Virgo here. We got two mutable signs, Cancer. And the mutable signs are energies of adaptability, all those. And Scorpio. But the mutable signs are there for adaptability. And I feel like that's another thing too, Cancer. While we're doing with this stuff, it may be a little tricky at first, working this in your routine. Maybe it might be a little awkward. Maybe maybe 1 week, we did solid, and then the next week, we had the kids had practice, we had doctor's appointments. Adjust, Cancer. Don't let the pressure of, because that's another thing too. I think sometimes when we try to stick to a schedule or stick to a habit, if we fall off, then we feel discouraged, and then we're like, well, forget it. I might as well, I'll just get to it when I get to it. No, just work with it, Cancer. Work with the energies here. Don't let this thing frustrate you. Now, let's see what are some other challenges here. Okay. So I feel like, Cancer, some other challenges that may kind of pop up here. Okay. So I feel like one, a little more on the moon here, because I'm getting the Three of Moons is kind of going with this moon card. And I feel like with the Three of Moons, when we're going through this stuff here, Cancer, and we're taking this and we're starting to incorporate this stuff, and we're starting to see results here, Cancer, celebrate. This is something that, and really celebrate yourself. Pat yourself on the back. Every time, it's funny, there's this website that I've been following, this couple that I've been following for years. I've been working out at home for a long time. It's just what I personally prefer. And it's this couple from their fitness. Their site is called Fitness Blender. And one thing that they've been expanding here over the last year or so. And one of the new trainers on there had said something that I really liked. And she was saying that after every workout, applaud yourself. He's just like, look at you. You made it through. And that's where I feel like, Cancer, this Three of Moons popping up with the moon. I feel like it's making it a habit of celebrating yourself. No matter how small the feat. Let's say, for example, if we have, oh, I don't know, let's say we want to maybe gamble less. It's like, okay, I'm only going to go to the casino 3 times this week as opposed to 5 times. And if we do just those 3 times this week, Cancer, celebrate, because look at you working. You're putting your money where your mouth is, and you're showing that you can show up for yourself. And that's where I feel like this night of moons is kind of coming in. Another challenge is really investing in yourself, Cancer. Really making this like a practice. How do I want to put this? Because think about it almost like how you would if you're let's say, for example, if you're a gaming fan. Go about how you would invest in yourself. Think about that, how you would invest in a video game character. If it's a game that you're really passionate about, when it comes out, we find the class, let's say, for example, I'm thinking of like a World of Warcraft type thing. I know I'm about to geek out real quick, but it's like, we're thinking about maybe like our class, we might do research on what class works for us. We're thinking about what are the different perks, we're doing all this research. And I think that that's something, Cancer, do some research in yourself, find out what foods, pay attention to, what your body likes, what foods do you like, does your body not like, and, adjust that kind of stuff. How does your body like to move? You like working out 3 days a week? Do you like working out more 2 days a week and doing more yoga? How does how does make this thing work for you, and be meticulous with it, and be intentional, and pour a lot of love into you, because this is it's important investing in this this being here, and it's so rewarding, the stuff that you can yield when you really do invest in yourself, Cancer. It's really the rewards, the abundance can really just be phenomenal here. And because I feel like we spend so much time invested in other things, Cancer, and not, I mean, just like with our jobs, with our families, with our friends, and it's just like, where those things aren't bad, Cancer. I just think taking more time, carving up, a bigger chunk for you, and because that's important, and that's not selfish. I know how that may sound, but it's going to help. It's going to make everyone is going to benefit from that in the long run. So just something to think about, Cancer. But we're going to get to your last card, which is some advice. And we got the Hierophant in reverse. And I feel like this is, Cancer, this is about connecting with you, and really, because the Hierophant is a card of really getting in touch with your spirituality, and I'm not even saying, you doing that per se. I'm just more so saying, like, getting in touch with who Cancer is, who you are, what it is, your belief system, what it is that you like, what drives you, really asking yourself those deep questions, and really, kind of checking in personally, getting reacquainted with yourself, how are we doing, how are we feeling emotionally, we even got quite a bit of moons here. How are we feeling? Your Cancer, and this is appropriate for our sign. I feel like it's about just getting everything into, like, just getting this vessel, this energetically in just a really stable and just a really good place here, Cancer. So I like that. This is really solid here, Cancer. So let's go ahead and start getting into some oracle cards. I'm with that. Let's see what's going on here. Not a bad way to start off a Monday, Cancer, I will say. And Cancer, I'm going to be changing up the schedule soon. And one of our days, Cancer's days, one of our lucky days is, I think it might be our only lucky day. I'll have to look more into that. I want to say our lucky days are Monday and possibly Thursday too, just what I'm thinking. The moon rules Monday and Jupiter rules on Thursday. And Jupiter's exalted in Cancer, but that's, neither here nor there. But just a good way to start off a Monday, Cancer. And any more? Okay. Let's switch back over here, Cancer. I was just kind of talking, be a pretty little pre-shuffle talk while we're waiting for higher self. But Cancer, your oracle card, you got the Earth card in reverse. And wasn't I talking about getting in touch with going outside and possibly getting in touch with the Earth and all that stuff, Cancer? I think it may be time, because Earth energy, that's that Virgo energy. This is Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus energy. And I feel like, and look at that, you got Virgo, and do we have Capricorn? I don't think we got any Capricorn, but we definitely got, is that Taurus? Definitely got Taurus. But, definitely got Taurus. Wow. I'm just now looking at that, Cancer. We got Virgo and Taurus in a strong way. And you know what? That may be a sign as well, now that I see, I just got chills, Cancer. That may be a sign as well, too, that the lack of Capricorn for me shows that some of us may be working too hard as well. Because where Capricorn is, I love their energy. They're very much about, they're much about getting stuff done. They're very, very career driven, and they're the fathers of the zodiac. They're the opposites of us. And I feel like that, we're in this place of just saying, with the lack of that them being there. I feel like it's less about, working so hard and more so about first, really, because Taurus energy, and I was just talking with Taurus about this yesterday. Taurus energy is, they're blessed by the Empress, and Empress energy is, I love Empress energy. It's very nurturing. It's very abundant, but it's about that self-care and self-growth and really, really nurturing yourself within there and getting in touch with all of that. And then, I was talking about the Virgo energy, that's more, that's Mercury rules over Virgo. But, and I feel like that's too, really thinking about because Mercury is kind of the plane of communication, of thought process, reading, all of that, anything kind of intellectual. And I feel like too, thinking about one, how our body is, and really getting an understanding of that. This Cancer, this, you really have the potential here to have a very profound Monday. Really, now as I'm getting into this, and you know what? I think we may call it here, just because the more I even think about it, is just like this is actually a very rich reading here, Cancer, and I really enjoyed it, and I really think that just check in with yourself, and I'm getting a feeling that there's going to be just endless stars coming for you here when you really start pouring that energy within, Cancer. So I'm gonna leave that there because last thing. Look at this. Look at this little acorn here. This is your heart here. Pour your heart, your love and your heart into yourself, and then watch how you grow, Cancer. Lovely. All right, now I'm for real leave it there. I hope you liked that, Cancer, and if you did, give it a thumbs up and share this, Cancer. This was really, what a way to kick off your day, I really hope that you like it and share this. I feel like this is how we raise that vibration, Cancer. Good work. I love the energy you're bringing. And then subscribe, hit that bell button. You'll get notified when I release videos each day. You stay tuned for social media. Stay tuned. I'm thinking about some ways that I can make this like a thing, or something. I'm getting creative. And then lastly, I'm assuming you're here because you've checked your sun, but if not, check your sun, your moon, your rising. When you really, when you get a chance, I was talking about Mercury, check your Mercury, that's how we communicate, that's, if you get some time here, so just check your chart. And then go check out my channel, Alchemist 8. I do weekly videos there with different monthly themes. It's a good old time, and all that housekeeping down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards so I can get you out of here. I like that. We got the 5 of stars here for in reverse 1, Cancer. Ooh, okay. And then we got the water in reverse, Cancer. And look at all this. Okay, Cancer. Ooh, Cancer. Oh, we're going to have a lovely finisher. Where do I want to start? Let's start with this. So, with this, Cancer, I really feel like that with the 5 of stars popping up in reverse, I really feel like that this is this is the time. I really feel like it's to, how do I want to put this, Cancer? I feel like the 5 of stars, I feel like some of us, when we go out, when we look for like our purpose and like what our fulfillment is and stuff, I really feel like sometimes that we look out to find that justification or that validation or something along those lines. But Cancer, I really feel like with this energy, it is more so about saying you don't have to look without or with outside of yourself. It's all within that fulfillment and all of that. That's where it starts. That's where the manifestation and the creativity happens, all within here. Because right now, I feel like we're not nurturing ourselves enough. I feel like if you know how we take this earth energy here, our ideas, the seed, what fulfills us and all of that, and then we treat it with our water energy here. We saturate this being with love and kindness and compassion and just, did I say love? Because if not love, more love. And even if I did more love, you can never have too much love. And I just feel like that if we were to, because this is our energy here, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy. And you got all of those, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces energy here. So Cancer, I really feel like, getting in touch with this, really treating yourself and, nurturing your energy. So I think I'm going to leave that there, Cancer. I enjoyed that, so I hope you did too. So stay safe out there, and Cancer, you raise that vibration. You're doing fantastic. I mean, really, this is a great way to kick off your Monday. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you let this energy just be your driving force hopefully throughout your journey, but at least throughout the week. And you know what? I won't even put that much pressure. Let this just be your day, Cancer. Okay, but yeah, stay safe out there. And then keep eyes on the moon. Keep eyes on that moon, Cancer. And I will catch you on the next one tomorrow.